All right, 2 episodes left in season 3. I can't believe we're at this point already. 6 episodes in. I mean, these seasons just fly by. I wish they were a little bit longer, but we have 2 episodes left. Say what you will about this season. I think it has been enjoyable. There have been redeeming qualities. There have been great moments. There have also been some not great moments and some irredeeming qualities, if that's even a word. But I think we can all agree that this has been the weakest season out of the 3 so far. Like I said, I have really enjoyed moments of this season. I have really loved some episodes, and I have not liked some episodes last week. But we don't have to like every single episode. I mean, I think a lot of people lost their minds last week because there was 3 episodes left. They were expecting something big after being promised with this grand setup in episode 5. And at that point, a lot of people were already complaining that nothing was happening. So I think it was kind of like the sparks were there, and then they just threw a bunch of gasoline on it with Lizzo and Jack Black, and the fandom kind of just exploded last week. I didn't expect the negativity to be that crazy, and my video, I did go a little too hard. I apologize. I did go a little bit too far, but I can't recant anything that I said. I stand by everything I said. I just think the way I said it may have gone a little too far. It's okay. You don't have to stay mad. It's okay. You can subscribe again. But jokes aside, like I said, there have been great moments. There have been not so great moments. And I'm hoping that these last 2 episodes just leave us off with this season with something special going into Ahsoka, leaving us satisfied. That's all I want from these last 2 episodes. And I do think they're going to deliver because, like I said, the reactions coming out of Celebration, they did show this episode. I think they showed the first 7 minutes to everybody in the Lucasfilm panel, and then they actually showed the whole episode to a certain group of people. And the reactions coming out of that group of people have been fantastic. People are saying that this is the best episode of the season. I hope so. But some people are saying it's the best episode of the series so far, which I don't know about that. I think we're going to have to judge that for ourselves. Maybe that was just excitement being at Celebration and getting to see a Mandalorian episode early. Who knows? But I'm very excited about this episode. I'm going to go in optimistic. I am excited, but also a little nervous just because of the trajectory. You can't blame me here. But before we get started, I just want to say if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys could check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm super excited. So let's go. Okay, back on Coruscant. It's very Andor-like. Interesting.
Report.
Finally.
Sir, I'm afraid the pirates have run into trouble on Navarro.
In your last report, didn't you suggest that the New Republic would not be sending support?
No more mustache.
Continue with your mission. I shall deal with our Mandalorian friends.
Where's he? Whoa. Who these? Who these fellows? Snokes.
It show no sign of our true strength. Easy for you to say, Captain. But that strength must not be wasted. The Grand Admiral Thrawn's return will herald in the re-emergence of our military and provide Commandant
Hux's dad. Interesting.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is missing from your delegation. Any word on when he will be able to participate in the Shadow Council?
So glad they're touching on this stuff. Finally.
You have spoken of his imminent return. Perhaps it's time we look to new leadership.
What has become of Dr. Pershing and the research you promised us?
His research is lost for now.
He sounds a lot like Hux.
We individually scrape and claw resources, awaiting the grand plan to take shape, while you and Pelion
Pelion is also in Legends, right? In Heir to the Empire. Am I wrong?
Received your request. 3 Praetorian guards.
Interesting. So Praetorian Guards are like an established thing at this point?
They are preparing to retake their home world of Mandalore.
A research in Mandalore would hamper our efforts.
Which is why we need to stamp them out now.
You'll have your reinforcements. And your guard.
Long live the Empire!
Long live the Empire!
Sweet. That was all the intro. Oh, good start. Better start than last week. Oh, here comes the fleet.
It was an Imperial ship. Look at the markings. See those, my friend? Mandalorian.
That's dope. It's fitting that we started this Mandalorian journey on Navarro, and that's kind of where we're ending up, because the way they announced the movies, with Dave Filoni's movie being the culmination of all of the storylines, I feel like Mando season 4 is going to be the last Mando season, because he said that they're wrapping up Ahsoka, Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, and everything else that is going to culminate into that. But someone else said that we could see stories with the Mandalorians onwards, so who knows?
And what little they know of each other, they hate.
They will if they want to survive.
Oh yeah, this should be interesting. Very, very different sects of Mandalorians. They're gonna be like, hold on, she has the Darksaber now? Oh, here we go.
We invite you to make camp. Let us prepare a feast for our guests.
Mando!
Mando!
Welcome gift to celebrate our new neighbors.
Nice.
That's all the way from Coruscant, so you might want to wait. For a small gap. That's not the only gift I have for you.
No way. They got the part. Oh my god, that's amazing.
What did you do to IG-11?
Oh, no, that's IG-12 now.
IG-12. Baby Yoda's gonna sit in there. Oh, yeah. Or, I'm sorry, Grogu. I still call him Baby Yoda. I mean, it's Baby Yoda. Come on. It was Baby Yoda for like a year and a half.
Bad baby.
No squeezing.
But let's see if he fits.
Come on. I need the Funko Pop. So, like, get in there. Oh, yes.
So
Give it to me now.
Maybe when he's older.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
I think he's saying he's old enough to operate it.
Yes.
This is actually awesome. I just want to see him go full out. Get IG-12 a lightsaber.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh my god.
Here. This isn't working for me.
It's working for me.
It is time to retake our homeworld.
Now this is what we've been waiting for. Come on now.
I will go. Grogu as well.
I will go.
I will go.
I will go.
I will go as well.
Yeah, we got the whole crew. Look at this. Hey, look. We haven't seen the whole episode yet. We haven't seen the last episode yet. But the build-up may have been worth it.
Scouting party descending to surface.
I love that, dude. IG-12. It's so great. I can't overstate how much better the VFX in the Star Wars shows, especially this in Andor, looks so much better than the recent Marvel stuff. So much better. And I know we've kind of figured out what's going on over at Marvel, but it's just so much better.
It's worse than I thought.
I was here when it happened.
Interesting. Wow. This is what I mean. It just looks so good. That was awesome. I asked for more episodes, but realistically, I think this season could have been 6 episodes. I think once it comes down to it, and once we've seen the finale, I think I'm going to come to that conclusion. The hell?
You wear the crest of the Night Owls.
I should hope so.
Is that the voice of Lady Bo-Katan Kryze?
Is that Gideon? Sounded like Gideon.
I did surrender. I met with Moff Gideon. The ISB had reached out to me to negotiate a ceasefire. That is how Moff Gideon came to possess the Darksaber.
So...
But it was the only chance I had to save our people. And then he betrayed me, and we were helpless to resist the purge of Mandalore.
So she basically handed over the Darksaber in exchange for the safety of her people.
Our people have suffered time and again. From division and squabbling factions. It is always our own division that destroys us.
That's big. I'm really liking the Mandalorian feel of this episode. Like, it feels like the Mandalorian.
What means more to me is honor, and loyalty, and character. These are the reasons I serve you, Lady Kryze.
I mean, I really do think she's the best fit to rule Mandalore. I just think it makes the most sense. She wants it. I think she has every right to it, if I'm being completely honest. Yes, she betrayed her people, but I think she's learned from that. Or she unwillingly betrayed her own people. They see it that way. She was kind of trapped into it. Hold on a second. Is that... See, dude, this Mandalorian feel... just the vibes this episode are fantastic. But hold on, the one guy, that is him. Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad is one of the Mandalorians that they came across.
These primitives make up their own rules for everything.
He's gonna fight over everything.
It was bound to happen sooner or later.
That's true. I guess they haven't fought yet, so they kind of have to.
No. 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 No.
I love that. That's great. Mark my words, Grogu will be the second ever Mandalorian Jedi. Like, I think he will have a helmet. He's gonna have a lightsaber. Or a Darksaber 2.0. It's gonna be great. In Dave's movie, I think that's going to happen. The hell was that? Is that? That's not the Mythosaur, is it? I didn't get a clear look at it. Like, dude, this looks crazy.
You good?
I love that so much. That's so cool.
The fires have been extinguished since the bombings.
You lived here?
We all did.
We never left. Survived by migrating along the surface till the war ended.
I'd love to see like a Clone Wars style animated series of that war on the surface. What?
Those aren't Mandalorians.
Oh, those were...
Take cover.
Yeah.
They're wearing Beskar armor!
Oh.
I'll lay down cover.
This is great. Nice. This is amazing. Where was this? Where was this via 2 episodes ago? Like, them stretching out this storyline into 3 episodes would have been more interesting than what we got last week. Just saying. No more complaining about last week. This is awesome. This is so cool. Oh, so this Gideon was on Mandalore. This is like their hideout. I thought they like tracked them somehow. Yeah, they're like, holy shit, the Imperials are still here.
What is this place?
Oh shit. Oh no, Dad. Gideon's got some beef with Din. Speaking of the f***ing devil, is that him?
Disarm him.
It is.
Thank you for gathering the Mandalorians into one place.
Whew. This got real.
I should have killed you when I had the chance.
All of the significance is in this episode.
I believe this is the part where you return the dark saber to its rightful owner.
This is the way.
So cool. I'm so glad he got a jetpack and a helmet. That's so sweet. He's just like an egotistical Mandalorian connoisseur. No! No! Blaster's overheating. Oh shit. Oh no. Yeah, he's done. There was a glimmer of hope, and then they brought out the Praetorian Guards. I want to say like that's the first. He's like the first major death we've had in this series. Him and Queel. And that it almost mirrors season 1. Queel being dead. That shot was almost exactly like the ending shot of chapter 7 in season 1. Well, that was the penultimate episode of season 3. And wow. Wow. They put everything into this episode. Oh my gosh. This was my favorite episode of the season so far. And this episode has the jump on a lot of other episodes in the earlier seasons. I think this is in my top 5 of the whole series. I don't even think this is like my first time viewing excitement thing. That's kind of how I thought it was. Coming out of Celebration, people were so hyped about this episode, and like people were like, oh, it's the best Mandalorian episode, it's this, that. I see why people thought that. This was awesome. Just bringing in the Imperial type Mandalorians, having them be Gideon's troopers, that's awesome. Since Luke kind of vanquished the Dark Troopers and all that, I think that's so cool. And it was the armor very, very similar, if not the same, to the Imperial Mandalorians that we saw in Rebels, Gar Saxon's Imperial troopers. And Gideon had horns on his helmet, just like the Mandalorians. And we know Saxon was with them, and then he was with the Imperials, so he may have had a hand with Gideon. So that's very, very interesting. But literally everything in this episode, like starting from the beginning, just bringing in Gideon, revealing not right away that he's on Mandalore, because in the beginning I was like, where is he? And then we see him talking to Hux's dad. About the sequel connections, I'm gonna talk about the new movie too that's gonna be taking place real quick after the Rise of Skywalker. So they announced that the one of the Miss Marvel directors, I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's going to be directing the next movie that takes place after the sequel trilogy. It's going to feature Rey. They didn't say that she was going to be the main character, but they brought Daisy out on stage like she was going to be the main character. But my thoughts on all of this, them doing more sequel stuff. Listen, we're getting a lot of different kinds of content over the next couple of years. So we have James Mangold's project, which is going to go back to the beginning of the Jedi and the Force and the Sith and all of that. That's going to be awesome. He's described it like a biblical epic. So that's going to be very, very cool to see. And then Dave Filoni's movie is going to culminate everything that we're seeing in the Mandoverse right now, or in the New Republic era, as they said it at Celebration. And then the other movie is going to be 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, and it's going to be the beginning of the new Jedi Order, created by Rey. Now, here's how I ultimately feel about it. I feel like they're doing exactly what we wanted them to do with Luke, but just with Rey. Like, why didn't we get this as the sequel trilogy, but with Luke? Because that's what we wanted to see. No hate whatsoever for Daisy Ridley. I think she's fantastic as Rey. A fantastic actress. She did the best she possibly could in the sequels. But Rey's just not a character that I'm very interested in going into this new set of movies. But I feel like there's a lot they have to offer with the sequels. And if anybody can fix the sequels, it's Dave Filoni. And a lot of people have gone into the Clone Wars not liking the prequels and coming out of the Clone Wars with a broader understanding and appreciation for the prequels. And I feel like some of these shows and movies can give us the opportunity to kind of reflect on the sequels for what they were. And I feel like they can be fixed in a sense. I feel like there's going to be a good amount of people that don't accept that, and that's fine. You have every right to not see this and that as canon. And I feel like we're kind of in an age of Star Wars where I would rather see things not canon, more things like Visions, so they have more freedom to do things. I feel like they can do canon stuff. Like, everything in the Mandoverse is awesome, but I feel like some of these standalone movies should kind of go outside of canon a little bit. Do like an Elseworlds thing, like DC. I think that would be really, really cool. So we're not restricted to a certain, canon. But that's just wishful thinking. And as for them connecting other things with the sequels, like the Praetorian Guards, seeing the Snoke clones, those had to have been Snoke clones. I mean, they've been like doing the Snoke music with the clone stuff. It has to be Snoke stuff. Like, what else is it? It wouldn't make nothing would make sense. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they connect all that. But as to how I feel about that, I'm completely fine with it. And like I said, if anybody can fix the sequels and connect the dots, it's Dave Filoni. He understands Star Wars better than anyone over at Lucasfilm. And I have full confidence in saying that. He is definitely being set up as the next George Lucas. And I know there's some things that Dave has done and that a lot of other people have not liked, and that's fine. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but I feel like most of the things that Dave has done have been widely accepted by the fans, and Rebels is that thing. This is an example of that, at least the first 2 seasons, that is. Clone Wars, prime example. The Bad Batch is fire. Go check it out. If you guys are Star Wars fans and you haven't watched The Bad Batch, I did reactions to them. Go check it out. It's amazing. I know not many people watch that show, but it's awesome. But I'm all for the connections, and I think that this show and going into Ahsoka, it's going to do a good job at that. But okay, back to the episode a little bit. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's late, I'm tired. But seeing all the Mandalorians get together, that was fantastic. That went down almost exactly how I saw it. Them not liking each other, eventually fighting. Grogu with IG-11 being IG-12 now. That stuff is fantastic. I love that so much, and I just want him to have a lightsaber and be like, just go ham on these Beskar Imperial troopers that Gideon has. I think that would be awesome. But the humor continues to be awesome with Grogu and Mando. I mean, just the playful humor, like in the beginning in the market, whenever he was just grabbing all the food, but then later on it being kind of taking a serious turn, you know, Grogu wanting them to stop fighting and just come together, and he got between Paz and Axe Woves, is that his name? Axe Woves, I think his name is. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but everything with the conflict, the inner fighting with all the Mandalorians, you know, them not getting along at first, that was fantastic. Them being on Mandalore, awesome. Just the visuals in this episode, this is one of the best visually looking episodes. It was visually stunning. It really was. But a lot of people seem to have a problem with Bo taking over. I think after this season, it's really going to go back to Din being the main character. I just think this season was about, you know, them as Mandalorians finding a leader, and Bo is that perfect leader. If you've seen Clone Wars and Rebels, it makes sense. I mean, she has that birthright almost, being from Mandalore, being Lady Bo-Katan Kryze, her family being who they were, and she had a very prominent role in the Siege of Mandalore and all this other stuff. But then it ultimately came down to her and Moff Gideon making a deal for protection of the Mandalorians, her people, and that all going south when he betrays her, takes the Darksaber, and bombs Mandalore anyway. I think that all makes a lot more sense now that we're hearing that, and we're starting to piece things together that haven't been established, and I like that. This episode did a fantastic job of that. But then getting to the end, finding out that Gideon has been on Mandalore this whole time, I mean, like, that's why he saw them as such a threat in the beginning. I was like, why does he really care if they retake Mandalore? But he was on Mandalore, and I didn't really put that together until they were running down the hallway. I saw that his troops were there. I thought they had like tracked them to Mandalore, and you know, he kind of had the hunch that they were going to be taking Mandalore back. So seeing all that was awesome, and then seeing him fly down in his helmet, that was so cool. And then Paz went out like a champ. I mean, him fighting off all of those Imperial Mandalorians, I guess we'll call them for now, that was so sweet, having his blaster overheat, and then he just takes all of them out, and I was like, oh, maybe he's going to get out of here. And then the Praetorian Guards show up and take him out. He went out like a champ, and then, like I said, it mirrors season 1 with Quill dying at the end of episode 7 going into the finale, and kind of having that hit as a fan base. You know, we feel for the characters that just lost this character in their lives. But I loved this episode. I thought it was fantastic. It gives us a great understanding of where we're going into this finale. I mean, Din is captured. It seems like the TIE bombers and the TIE interceptors are going after the fleet, and that's where the armorer is. So who knows what's going to happen in this finale. I love that we go into these finales every season completely dark. We don't see any footage. We have no idea what's going on. I'm really not gonna give any hopes up for like any cameos or anything. I just want it to be a fantastic finale and lead into Ahsoka rather nicely. I think it should be a satisfying conclusion to this season, but I also think it's going to give us a tease as to what to expect next. But I really enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys could check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.